Samulnori is a genre of percussion music and is performed with 4 traditional Korean instruments. The kwengari, a small gong, the changu, an hourglass-shaped drum, the puk, a barrel drum, and the ching, a large-sized gong. Samulnori is very attractive, but newcomers to this genre may need some time to get used to it. Now, there are foreign residents in Korea who have formed their own Samulnori troupe after falling in love with this genre. Today's guests are from the Expats Samulnori Team. They are from different countries, but they share the mutual feelings of love and interest in Gugak, the Korean traditional music. The members of the Expats Samulnori are very enthusiastic about Samulnori and Gugak, so let us see and feel their passion on Heart to Heart. Today's guests come from different countries and different cultural backgrounds, but they are bonded through one mutual love and interest, which is Gugak, Korean traditional music. I am delighted to welcome members of the Expats Samulnori, Noriko, Amulia, and Geya. Thank you so much for joining us today. Would you like to say hello to our viewers?
Hello, I'm Noriko. I'm from Japan. I'm playing changu and book a little bit. Nice to meet you.
Hi everyone, my name is Amulia. I'm from India. I'm part of the Expats Samulnori Team and I play the changu and the book.
Hello, my name is Geya. I'm from Oregon in the USA and I usually play changu in our team, but sometimes I play kwengari or puk.
Okay, well, once again, welcome to Heart to Heart. Thanks for joining us today. Tell us about Samulnori. What exactly is Samulnori for our viewers that don't know much about Samulnori?
Well, Samulnori is sort of the most modern version of Korean traditional instruments. That it uses the farmers' music and rhythms as sort of a base, and then those rhythms have been shortened and compiled into several different pieces that are performed on a stage. So originally, the farmers' music was performed in a parade style, walking around, but Samulnori is the version that's mostly performed inside, sometimes seated or standing.
Oh, I see.
But it's the most modern version of the traditional rhythms and music.
We could take a lesson on this. So could you maybe tell us about the members? How many members are there in the Expats Samulnori? And could you also tell us about the activities?
There are currently 7 members and we practice every Sunday. And all of us do different things. Sunday is the one day we get to come together and practice and play together. And we have a huge age group because we're all expats. We don't really care or ask about the age. And even if we are not fluent in Korean or in English, we learn and teach through actions.
Yes.
So it's been a fun experience so far.
I mean, we say we can communicate through music, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So you have, introduced the instruments you play. So first, I'd like to ask Noriko about, once again, the instrument you play. You play the...
I play changu.
Changu. So could you tell us a bit about the changu?
Changu is a Korean traditional drum, and we had 2 sticks called che, and we play both sides of the drums.
I see. And what about you, Amulia?
I play the changu and the book.
Tell us about the book then.
I think you hear this a lot when you hear people who play the book. It looks huge, it looks intimidating, but it's the most soothing, I feel, among all the Samulnori instruments. It's like the heartbeat. It actually goes like dup, 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 dup. That's the sound of the book. So, but it requires a lot of energy. People say it's usually a guy's instrument, but then, well, I play it.
Yeah, that's true. I think I've seen more men playing the puk than women.
Because it needs a lot of energy.
Oh, I see. And Geya, you play the changu, and you've mentioned another instrument?
Yes, I also play the kwengari.
Kwengari.
Yeah. Kwengari is the loudest instrument, so it's usually the leader, or it gives some signal to the other instruments about, oh, we're changing a rhythm now, or we're moving on now. So it has a very high, almost piercing sound. So it takes a lot of skill to play it well, because if it's played poorly, then the audience is not very excited about that.
When was your first encounter with Gugak?
My first encounter with Samulnori was actually in 2011 when I studied abroad in New Zealand. And there was an international students festival and performance, and some of the Korean international students performed Samulnori. And that was the first time I'd ever heard that, and all I remember thinking was, wow, this is really loud. I was so overwhelmed by the sound that was my first impression.
Loud.
Loud.
Okay. What about you, Amelia?
Again, sticking to just Samulnori, the first time I heard it was when we were learning the language. And I saw it only in like the book pictures.
Oh, okay.
But the first time I saw it live was when we had our orientation when I first came to Korea. And somebody performed it, and I was awestruck. I was like, this is amazing. Like, what is this? Like, what are all these? Like, I knew they existed, but I started looking it up more and like watching videos and trying to get. But it's not the same thing watching a video and watching it live. They're slightly different experiences.
And what about you, Noriko?
When I worked as an internship student in France, one of my friends, Korean friends, played tango. So I saw it first time, and it was very unique. We have similar types of drums in Japan, but tango, she played like this.
Yes.
So both sides. So it was the first time I saw Samulnori.
It's very interesting how, you know, you heard or saw a Samulnori performance somewhere else. I mean, not in Korea, but it was in a, you know, it was in France, and was it the Netherlands?
New Zealand.
New Zealand,
yeah.
Right, yes. Very interesting. Now, I'd like to ask if you have actually studied Gugak. Have each of you studied Gugak? Like studied?
Not really studying, but I took a Kayagum course for 3 months at the National Institute of Korea. And at the same time, my husband took a Changu course. So we learned how to play Kayagum and Changu. And at the last concert, I met Geir. So we knew the Expats Samulnori, and we decided to join.
Oh, I see. So as you've mentioned, your husband is also a member.
Yes, he's Japanese, and we live in Korea. So as we live in Korea, we'd like to learn about the Korean culture.
All right. And Amelia, what about you? Did you study Gugak?
Not really.
No.
Like I think most of the members, we all started off with it as a hobby.
I see.
And so at the same place, at the Kungnip Gugak one. And I did that for 1 semester, and then I saw the Expats Samulnori perform at the Sudoshik at the end of the ceremony at the end of the semester. And that's when I met them, and that's when I started like practicing with them. That's why I had the pleasure of meeting all the old members.
I see. Ah, okay.
I have been with them for 1.5 years, but I've been playing the chango for 2 years.
And what about you?
I also never officially studied Gugak. I took a number of classes about different instruments and different performances. But our members who study Gugak, now our previous members have gone back to their countries.
Oh, I see.
Or are very busy with their studies. So unfortunately, they can't join us as often as we'd like.
Right. Now, the Expats Samulnori consists of members from different countries and different cultural backgrounds. And I guess, I mean, although you have joined through one mutual love or interest, it's, of course, Gugak, I'm sure you have experienced difficulty. I don't know. Are there any stories you might want to share with us about things you have experienced as members from different countries and different cultural backgrounds? Any interesting stories? Or
it was not that as like a big difficulty as such, but it was challenging because I joined when there were still many of the older members. So I was kind of like, oh my God, they play so well. Will I ever be able to like keep up with them? That kind of like, but of course I pretended to be really confident, so it helped. And like once we got to know each other, we realized like we are pretty nice people. So.
We never suspected you were faking.
Oh, I did a good job then.
Are there any memorable, I guess, anecdotes you might want to share with us? Yes.
I mean, I think the best part about having members from many different countries is that when people go back to their hometowns for vacation and then come back, because we practice only once a week, as mentioned, we usually practice for quite a long time, even 4 or 5 hours. So, of course, we have to have a snack break in the middle. And whenever people come back from abroad, they bring some snack or food from their hometown. So Noriko came back last week and brought some Japanese snacks.
Yeah, Japanese rice cake.
Yeah, they're great.
We have other like crazy experiences too. Like she's our official Ajay gagger. She's the one who keeps cracking all the good jokes. Good jokes. But like we have another member who's relatively more serious than we are. So we are kind of like, we are well behaved when she's around.
I see.
But when it's like because we all have different schedules, the number keeps changing, like who practice. So there have been times when just the two of us practice, which is a terrible idea because we both are crazy. And we tend to keep like just one joke leads to another.
Okay, and you don't practice.
No, we do practice. But it's like we practice in the breaks.
Okay.
Yeah. More banter, less playing.
Yeah, like, it's unintentional, but it happens.
Yeah.
Is there a story you might want to share as well, Noriko?
As they said, it's a multicultural experience for us. And as I said, I'm a beginner in Korea and Samulnori. So my Korean is not so good, and my English also not so good. It's not my mother tongue, but I can learn English and Samulnori as well at the same time.
They're so supportive.
No, don't believe her. She's really good.
Yeah.
She and Minoru, who's her husband, they picked up so fast. Like they know the pieces much sooner than we learned them.
I see.
And we're like,
I don't think so.
have you been playing only for a month? Have you been lying to us?
Yeah, they're fast learners.
Yes.
So currently there are 7 active members.
Yes.
But there have been more, there have been fewer members in the past. And for our viewers that are dying to see all members of the Expats Samulnori perform together as a team, we're going to take a quick video break. So let's take a look.
우리나라를 비춰주네.
You perform all across Korea. There are, of course, many Samulnori teams and groups that perform, but it's not very easy to see, foreign members, people from foreign countries joining as a group to actually perform in so many regions all across Korea. So how do your audiences react when they actually see you perform?
A lot of audiences are a little bit surprised, but usually we get a very positive reaction. People generally seem to think, oh, our culture is so interesting and the music is so engaging that even those who were exposed to it very late in life and didn't grow up hearing it, even those people are so interested and want to perform and play this kind of music. So sometimes people even say to me, you're more Korean than I am.
Oh, really?
I'm Korean, but I've never played those instruments or
yeah.
I've never performed this kind of music. So,
are their reactions different? How are their reactions different?
I think my favorite thing has been to play in parks because there are a lot of old generation. It's like you can see the entire age group. You can see little kids. You can see all people, like all the halmonis and harabajis. And it's usually the older generation who reacts amazingly. They're first of all surprised, as Gia said, and secondly, they always come up and say nice words, even if you messed up. Like we know if we messed up, we know that, but we still carry on doing it. But then they'll come to you and say, that was so well done. And little kids are very surprised. Like we've had, once we had a performance in Suwon, where the kids were sitting in the front row and they were actually doing the beats with us.
Oh, really?
Which was really fun to watch. Slightly distracting, but really fun to watch.
So of all the performances you've given, I'd like to ask each of you, which performance remains to be the most memorable or meaningful?
A lot of them actually, but I think it's more than a performance, it was an event we took part in. There was an event at Gwangamun where there were hundreds, and I don't even know how many people were there. And it was when I just joined. It was 2 months since I joined the team. I was learning the changu a little while before that, but I just joined the team. And it was crazy, the energy, the entire, it was a good kind of crazy, everybody was moving at because you are walking and playing at the same time. We were playing the changu. both of us.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had great, I mean, it also has a bad experience because that's when her changu died. Yeah, it broke.
Oh.
But yeah, it's all part of a good memory now.
I see. Then Gaya, is that the performance you remember the most because your changu broke, or?
It's very memorable, but I think my first performance is most memorable for me. This was when, also similar to Amuria's case, just 2 months after I joined the team. And it was in 2014 at the World Samulnori competition. So I just joined this team, but already the members who had been there for longer were thinking about joining this competition. And so I was really not sure what I was doing, but we went to Chilgo, a very small town, and there were so many teams performing and competing in this competition, and they also had a non-Korean section. And actually, not to brag, but
Not to brag.
our team won first place.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
So it was very memorable.
Ah. The members of Expats Samulnori came to Korea with different dreams, but they became one through Samulnori. Their common interest is their love for Korea. The members are tackling different challenges, but we hope they will have a promising future together through Samulnori. So I'd like to ask you my final question. Of course, I usually ask our guests what their hopes are, what their dreams are. So what are your goals, future plans, or even goals you hope to achieve?
For Samulnori, I
Yes.
want to learn the Kwengari better before I go home. And I hope to continue playing the instruments even when I go back to India. And so yeah, so I want to be at least proficient to a level so that I can continue even if it's just by myself. Because I don't want to lose touch because it's been such a beautiful experience.
Oh, wow. Okay, and Noriko, what about you?
I'd like to learn other instrument as well, so puk, kengari, and I'd like to join the performance, and I'd like to show it to my family. So my family never been to Korea,
I see.
so if they see it, so they can understand more about the Korean culture.
All right, and finally, Gaya?
I'd like to continue performing and learning more, and I hope that if I also go to another country after Korea, I can take my changu, and I hope I can find a team or start a team in that foreign country.
Amazing, wonderful. I mean, I'd like to thank you for your passion, for having this, passion and love for Korean traditional music, and we hope that you continue to promote the joy of Gugak, and best of luck to you, the Expats Samulnori. Thank you once again for joining us today. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
감사합니다.